Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjanashakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnaprishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharani Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarani. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Humble obeisances to all the devotees. Welcome to the third session. In the first two sessions we have seen the secrets of cultivating spiritual friendships, which is essentially discussing Harikatha with devotees. Apart from being empathetic, sympathetic, helping other devotees, etc. Then second topic we had how to deal with the distresses, how to tackle distresses in spiritual life. Again the answer is discussing Harikatha. The more we get absorbed in the glories of the Lord, qualities of the Lord, the more we become oblivious to the surroundings which are very austere and painful. Just like a drunkard drinks and becomes totally oblivious to the surroundings, similarly, a spiritual drunkard drinks the nectar of Krishna Katha, spiritual intoxicant of Krishna Katha, and becomes oblivious to the surroundings. We discussed that. Today we will take up another topic. This is the art of giving and receiving feedback in devotee communities. How many of you feel that this topic is relevant? Okay. Did you ever receive a feedback, either for your devotional activities or regular activities? Receiving feedback is common, and giving feedback also is a necessity, whether they are juniors or seniors. Arjuna said, I will not fight in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Krishna began Bhagavad Gita with a feedback. Klaibyam asmagamaha partha naitatva upapadyate kshudram hridaya daurbalyam tyaktotishta parantapa. He said, where has this petty weakness of heart come upon you at this moment of crisis? Give up this petty weakness of heart. Get up, fight! He said, Klaibyam asmagamaha partha. So, Bhagavad Gita began with the feedback. Why feedback is necessary? Can anyone say? Either giving or receiving, why feedback is necessary?
Motivation.
To motivate, to change, because a positive change specifically.
Improve ourselves.
To improve ourselves, to improve the situation, to improve others.
It helps us to evaluate.
Yeah, evaluation. So, all of you agree that giving feedback is necessary. What are some of the difficulties that you face when you are giving feedback to others for their mistakes? Somebody did a mistake. That person needs improvement. And you have to give feedback. Or you are in an authorized or responsible position to give a feedback. But they may not accept it. Right? What difficulty do you face in giving feedback to others?
Counterparty becomes counterattack.
Okay. They may counter-attack us. They may become defensive. They may get offended. They start defending themselves. Okay. 3 difficulties. Any other difficulties?
The reciprocation will not be taken in a positive.
Okay. Negative perception. Oftentimes feedbacks are perceived in a negative light. Okay. Anything else? Any other difficulties you face in giving feedback? No more difficulties. Good. Did someone give you feedback? Was it difficult for you to receive feedback?
Yes.
What are the difficulties that you have in receiving feedback from others? You easily said that it's difficult to give feedback to others because they have these problems. So, what are your difficulties in receiving feedback from others? What do you face? What do you think when someone else is giving feedback?
Because we don't want to accept our limitations.
Okay, you don't want to accept our limitations. Next.
Ego comes in.
Ego comes in between. Okay. False ego.
Not be publicly told.
Very important point. How you see publicly correcting me, scolding me, pointing out faults in me? Good. Next. If it's private feedback, okay, fine, that's good. He's sensitive. But if it's publicly, openly saying, hey, what is this? Then we feel a little embarrassed, awkward, feel uncomfortable.
Sometimes what's said is correct, but the way it is said is wrong.
Tone. The tone in which we hear the feedback is very unpalatable. Okay. Anything else?
Even the position of the opposite person.
How is he to tell me?
Yeah.
Bacha hai.
That is a mistake.
Okay, anything else? Any other difficulties you receive, you have in receiving feedback? I'm correct. He's not understanding it properly. I'm misunderstood. He's perceiving faults. These are difficulties. Huh?
He is judging me.
He's judging me, wrongly judging me. Okay, anything else? You are only giving the class. I'm just hearing. I'm just hearing katha from you. So there is difficulty in giving feedback. There is difficulty in receiving feedback. But to make the whole process of, let's first identify ourselves as receiver. So in this class, I want you to wear 2 hats: receiver hat and giver hat. Okay, R hat and G hat. Okay, first which hat? R. Okay, let's begin with R. So you are a receiver of feedback. First point. If we sincerely desire to improve our performance, if we are genuine and honest in accepting our mistakes or difficulties or limitations, receiving feedback will become very easy for us. Instead of getting offended when someone is giving us feedback, we become grateful to them. Even if the way they express the feedback may not be very pleasant, still we want improvement. Okay, whatever may be his tone, no problem. I need to improve. So instead of getting offended, instead of defending oneself, we try to improve ourselves by trying to accept whatever is good is there, whatever valid point is there in the feedback. That is honesty. An honest person is not a person who never does a mistake. An honest person is a person who may do a mistake, but the mistake is accidental mistake, not intentional mistake. It's not a deliberate mistake, it's a circumstantial mistake. By mistake, he or she does a mistake. Never wants to do it on purpose or deliberately, circumstantially, accidentally. unintentionally some mistake happens. That's what honesty is. Out of ignorance, out of lack of experience, out of some previous habit, some mistake happens. So, an honest person, when he does a mistake, he realizes the mistake, admits the mistake, apologizes for the mistake, tries to rectify the mistake if it is possible. Sometimes when you type something wrong, Control Z option is there. Control Z, do you understand? Undo option is there. But sometimes undo option doesn't work. You already saved the document, you opened it after 2 days, then you realize you made a mistake. Then you have to redo it. Undo doesn't work, only redo works. But if there is a possibility of rectifying the mistake, he rectifies the mistake. Realize, admit, apologize, rectify. And try not to repeat the mistake. Don't try not to repeat the mistake. Don't repeat the same mistake again. Then, also, remember the mistake. Why should we remember the mistake? Anyone knows?
So we should not repeat it.
Okay, we remember the mistake so that we don't repeat it again. Great. Anything else?
Also, if somebody else does it, so you can teach them.
Yes, good. I have done this mistake. You should not repeat it. Parents say, my father used to say, I only did diploma. You enrolled for BTech, I felt so happy. You did MTech, I became even more happy. Father says that. Somehow I could not continue my studies, family responsibilities came upon my head at a young age. I got absorbed in it, I could not continue my studies. He felt like that. So some are like life lessons, life experiences. You don't want others to repeat the same mistakes or undergo the same unpleasant experiences. That's great. Anything else? What are the other benefits of remembering our own mistakes? One, we will not repeat the same mistake. We can teach others through our experiences. Any other advantage of remembering one's own mistakes? Growth.
Setting an ideal example.
Okay. Anything else?
And does it realize that?
Yeah. What is it? So,
We will improvise.
okay, we can improve better. So, remembering our past mistakes will help us in 2 ways, apart from whatever you say. One, increases our humility. 2, increases our gratitude. Say, I did a mistake now. I am accustomed to do certain mistakes now. After 1 year, I somehow struggled and managed to improve myself. I am not repeating the same mistake. Say I am cooking. I am making halwa. Instead of putting sugar, I have kept salt. It's a mistake. Right? Then someone trained me. Hey, both may look white, but please understand this is different, that is different. So you put sugar instead of salt. So somehow, this is a very gross mistake, but somehow I managed to improve myself and I am not repeating that same mistake. Halwa came out very well. People are glorifying me, appreciating me. Wow, amazing halwa, the tastiest halwa I ever ate. I may become proud. So when we do good work, when others are appreciating our good work, there is a good possibility of we becoming proud. At that time, if you remember, 1 year back or 6 months back, I was doing this imperfectly, I was doing mistake. Then we can do it. So appreciation, praise will not make us proud when we remember our past shortcomings and past mistakes. Of course, we should not remember our past mistakes to get depressed or demotivated. Sometimes remembrance of our old mistakes may make us depressed. Depression should not be the outcome. That's like egoistic regret. But you need to understand that remembering our past mistakes or past fallen condition or shortcomings will help us remain humble. Although we become perfect one day. That's one advantage. Humility. Second is gratitude. How did I come from this level to this level? Someone has helped me. Many devotees help, parents help us, teachers help us, other devotees help us, Guru helps us, Bhagavatam helps us, Acharya's teachings help us. So we improved because of the assistance and support of so many people. So when I remember where I was before, when I understand where I am now, I can acknowledge all the contributions of all these great souls to my improvement. I can become grateful to them. Therefore, remembrance of our own past fallen condition and mistakes and shortcomings will help us to become humble and to become grateful. Agree? Makes sense? So when I am in this kind of disposition, when this is my consciousness, as an average human being or as a struggling sadhaka, then receiving feedbacks for my mistakes will become very easy for me. But when I am in an offensive, or when I get offended, when I start defending myself, when I don't accept my mistakes, when I don't admit my mistakes, I don't repent for my mistakes, I don't rectify my mistakes, receiving feedback will become extremely painful. Ego will become very egoistic. So let's not allow our false egos to block the possibility of our improvement. We have a great advantage of Vaishnava community around us. So many experienced devotees are there. Let's take benefit of their association and improve ourselves. Let's grow nicely. Let's do our sadhana bhakti nicely. Let's render services to Guru and Vaishnavas nicely instead of being egoistic. Makes sense? So what were the points that we discussed? Whenever somebody does a mistake, honest person does a mistake, what are the different 6-7 points we discussed? What are they? One, realize the mistake first. Then admit. Apologize.
Rectify.
Accept. Repent. Try not to repeat. And
Apologize.
remember. Apology is already over. So 7 things we discussed. So when we are in this disposition, receiving feedback will become very easy. So when we are grateful, when we are humble, we will not get offended whenever somebody gives us feedback, whenever someone scolds us or corrects us. He is correcting me for my own improvement. Let me be grateful. Let me be humble. I have done a mistake, so I should be humble. He is helping me to overcome a mistake, therefore I should be grateful. So that's the art of receiving feedback. Clear? So when we are in this disposition, then naturally receiving feedback will become very easy. What about giving feedback? What are the problems in giving feedback? You already mentioned others will not receive, they may see it in a negative light. Did you ever wonder why our feedbacks are often perceived in a negative light? Can anyone see?
Maybe our expression is not good.
Expressions, okay. Our tone is not good. The vocabulary that we use, the language that we use, the timing at which we give that feedback. He's just sitting for prasad, relishing the prasad. Suddenly you overload with him with 100 feedbacks and corrections. The sweetest gulab jamun will become like mirchi for him. Right? So that's a bit austere. So timing of giving feedback, tone, all this matters. Anything else? Relationship. That's important. You need to invest your love and affection in that relationship. Then your feedbacks are acceptable, digestible, relatable, implementable, actionable. Otherwise, austere, scary, offensive. Anything else? Okay. You want to say something? So, oftentimes our feedbacks are perceived in a negative light because we focus more on the wrong that has happened than the right that is supposed to happen. We focus more on the past than on future. Instead of telling people what mistakes they have done in the past, help people, assist people to do them right in future. When we give a futuristic perspective to our feedback, it becomes more easy to accept. And actually it's positive. The feedback session will become a very positive and enlivening session when you speak about improvement in future rather than the defects of the past. So you have done this, you have done this. Akkal nahi hai kya? You don't have mind or what? How many times I have to tell you? Don't you have? So like that, you just keep on pounding that person and then just keep on irritating that person. They very discouraged, very demotivated. When the discussion is too much on faults, too much on shortcomings, too much on drawbacks and defects, it becomes very austere for the person who is giving the feedback and receiving the feedback. Both people find it austere. Both people find it very, very unpleasant and unpalatable. Even we, how long we'll speak on negative, negative, negative. Instead of that, let's speak on something positive. Also, another issue is, when we are giving feedback to others, we oftentimes ignore their intentions. We focus on the actions more and we ignore the intentions. The intention is to do it right, somehow the action became wrong. I mean, even in our general dealings also, somebody is dancing in kirtan, jumping up and down. By mistake, when they jumped up, landed on someone's foot. Okay, so the Pada Kamala is not like Kamala, it just kind of hurt the other person. But he never intended to do so. If you say sorry, the other person will accept also. Even if it is little painful, they understand it. Arey, be careful next time. They will accept it. But if you keep on judging their intentions, you purposely hurt me. You have stamped on my Charan Kamal unnecessarily and you have made me bleed. If you suspect their intentions, people will feel very offended. They feel very bad. I never meant to do it. And this is like very gross example that I gave, very self-evident example where nobody wants to stamp on someone's leg in kirtan, even if they don't like you. That's very clear. But there are many other instances where we very comfortably, conveniently, effortlessly judge the intentions of the other person. Don't focus on don't suspect their intentions. Don't suspect their loyalty immediately without sufficient evidence. When we judge their intentions, when we misunderstand them, that hurts them more than all your scoldings. So you may scold another person out of your anger, they may not take it so seriously. But if you suspect their loyalty and integrity, they question their integrity, they feel very bad. Therefore, focus only on the performance, not on the personality, not on their character when you are giving feedback. If it is very evident that it's proved that they have actually done a mistake intentionally, then of course your feedback has to be more severe, not feedback. You need to take a disciplinary action on it. Physical action also you may have to take, that's a different case. But I'm speaking about some normal things, small things. Day-to-day things some happen, right? So don't immediately suspect their integrity and loyalty. It hurts them. So more than leg pain, hand pain, back pain, headache, the pain of misunderstanding is more severe. That becomes Vaishnava Aparadha. Bharat Maharaj was misunderstood by so many people. Ayodhya was misunderstood Bharat. And who else? So many people misunderstood Bharat. Vasishtha Muni misunderstood Bharat. Why? Because Kaikeyi asked kingdom for Bharat Maharaj and told Dasharatha Maharaj, you send Ram to Vanavas, make my son Bharat as the king. And because of her mistake, all the Ayodhya Vasis and Vasishtha Muni, Kausalya Devi, and even Lakshman misunderstood Bharat. You see how much Bharat was devastated because of this misunderstanding. So don't misunderstand people without sufficient proof. If it's very clear that they have done certain mistake, then of course you may have to take a necessary action. So in short, don't focus so much on the past. You may have to discuss a little bit about the past. Some like diagnosis, for example, doctor checks your nadi and then says you have done this, you have done that, you have eaten this sweet so much, you have eaten fried item so much. Both people have. Boldly believe. One doctor was chastising one patient so much. There are 100 people standing in queue at the doctor, and this doctor is just smashing that patient. He had done so much. He was feeling so embarrassed that day. I mean, others are feeling embarrassed, but the doctor is relishing chastising. And medicine they go. First you give medicine. You can diagnose and then tell the defect in a very palatable way, in a digestible way, but you just humiliate them, embarrass them, make them feel so awkward and uncomfortable publicly. And at the end, positively, giving medicine is just like a half-minute job. So then people feel a bit awkward. But despite having a heavy tone, and publicly if somebody chastises also, others will not feel offended provided they trust your intentions. Someone pointed out that indirectly. So when there is no trust, then it's difficult for people to digest things. When there is sufficient trust, although you may speak little harshly in an angry tone, you may scold the other person, they will accept it. Prabhupada has chastised his disciples so many times. They never misunderstood Prabhupada. They are convinced that he is our well-wisher. My mother chastised me 100 times. Oftentimes we have this plus minus plus formula, right? Plus minus plus strategy. Whenever you have to give feedback to others, first speak about their good qualities, good performance, plus. Then you give your feedback, minus. Then again you conclude with a positive note. Appreciate them a little more, plus minus plus. Then they will accept it. When is this formula applicable? When there is no sufficient relationship. But when there is sufficient relationship, no plus, only minus. Still they will not misunderstanding. Because there is trust. So my mother never began with a plus when she has to chastise me. She directly attacked me. Krishna began by saying that what is this petty weakness of heart? He began with chastisement. He did not very slowly, calmly first butter him first. Then he did not give feedback. He directly gave feedback because there is a relationship. Even if the other person chastises you, don't misunderstand. But when the relationship is not that thick, that close, that trustworthy, then you may have to be a little mild in your tone. Just use this. Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat svadhyayabhyasanam chaiva vangmayam tapahunsyate. Anudvegakaram vakyam. Our statements, our words should not be causing agitation to others. Anudvegakaram vakyam. Satyam, they should be truthful. Priyahitam chayat. They must be very beneficial. When you are a well-wisher, when the other person is convinced that you are a well-wisher, they will accept all your suggestions, all your feedbacks, all your comments without misunderstanding you. So let us cultivate this habit of, not habit, this quality of being a well-wisher of others, genuine well-wisher. Once when I was in 4th standard, when I was so dirty, playing whole day, my mother called me inside and told me, you should immediately take a bath. You are so dirty, you are stinking, you have so much perspiration all over your body. I said, I will not take a bath, I will put powder on my face so that I look fresh. So now I don't use any powder. Last 15 years at least. But in those days we used to use ponds. Then she became even more angry. What nonsense is this? When you apply powder on your face, you look fresh. You are not fresh. Don't try to appear fresh. Become fresh. Don't try to cheat people. Similarly, don't try to make your feedback appealing by giving it a polished vocabulary with plus minus plus strategy and all that. You first become a genuine well-wisher of the other person. When you are a genuine well-wisher, they will understand that you are a genuine well-wisher. Still they may not understand. Some people may not understand, but just generally speaking, when you are a genuine well-wisher of another person, naturally others will understand that you are a genuine well-wisher. They will accept whatever you say. So whenever you are giving feedback to others, that giving a feedback should be with an intention to see them grow, to see them do well. You become a genuine well-wisher. When a mother gives a feedback to a child, when a father corrects the son or daughter, there is a genuine well-wishing intention. When a guru chastises a disciple, when the Lord chastises his devotee, there is a genuine intention to see them grow, see them improve. You become their well-wisher. This is what a devotee is. A devotee is sarva bhuta hite rataha. A devotee is a genuine well-wisher of all living beings. So when that well-wishing intention is there, all your corrections or feedbacks or suggestions or scoldings or heavy tone things are accepted effortlessly without any misunderstanding, without getting offended. So, when you are on the receiving end of feedback, desire your personal improvement. Whatever may be the tone of the other person, it doesn't matter. Whatever may be the intention of the other person, it doesn't matter. You want to grow, you want to improve yourself. Then you are a good feedback receiver. Apart from many other qualities, foremost quality of a good feedback receiver is desiring personal improvement. That automatically makes him or her accept the feedback. And when you are at the giving end of the feedback, genuinely desire the other person's improvement. Simple. Art of giving and receiving feedback is easy. When you are at the receiving end, genuinely desire your improvement. When you are at the giving end, genuinely desire others' improvement. Be a well-wisher. Other person may or may not take it properly. Vibhishan was a genuine well-wisher of Ravana. He gave a feedback. But Ravana did not take it. That is his misfortune. Not Vibhishan's problem. Right? So, whatever may be the attitude of the receiver, when you are giver of feedback, have a genuine intention. Be a well-wisher. Okay. So this is the art of giving and receiving feedback. So now you can enumerate the qualities, apart from these two foremost qualities, you can just enumerate what are the qualities of a good feedback giver. Just say one by one. Based on whatever we discussed and anything else you want to add. What are the qualities of a genuine feedback receiver? Good feedback receiver.
You will take it in a positive way.
Take it in a positive way. Desire self-improvement. Next, anything else? Good listener, very good. You should listen nicely.
Take every feedback as an opportunity to improve.
Very good. See the feedback as an opportunity to improve. Be grateful to the feedback giver. Don't hate them. Don't be hateful. Be grateful. Anything else?
Practically apply the feedback.
Practically apply. Don't just listen and keep quiet. Just also make it actionable. Anything else?
Sometimes when your superior gives you feedback, I think it's like, my guru, Krishna, who that person is.
See the feedback giver as a representative of Guru and Krishna. My Guru is my genuine well-wisher, wants my improvement. Somehow this person is representing my Guru, representing Krishna. Through him or her I am getting some inputs. Very good perspective. Try not to repeat the same mistake. All the 7 points that we said about honest people. Anything else?
We should be open and approachable. Open to take it.
Open to take it and be approachable. If the feedback giver has to think 10 times before giving you feedback, then we are not a bona fide candidate for improvement. So be open, be approachable. Very good. Anything else? Okay, fine. So we discussed some 7-8 qualities of a good feedback receiver. Who is a good feedback giver? Keep saying qualities. You are giving class. Futuristic perspective. Not too much of discussion about the mistake that has happened in the past, but focusing on what good is supposed to happen in the future.
Cares for the person, invest in the relationship, and then invest.
Yeah, invest in the relationship. Genuinely care for the person and be a well-wisher of the person. Next.
Focus on the intentions, not on the actions.
Just also understand Did they intentionally commit this mistake or accidentally commit this mistake? Accordingly, your feedback has to be there. Anything else?
Don't doubt their integrity and
Don't doubt the integrity. Very good. Next. Fine. So we discussed the qualities of a good feedback giver, qualities of a good feedback receiver. When we are in the receiving end, apply them. When you are in the giving end, apply these qualities. Then life will be easy. So before I take the discussion further, let me just ask you a question. Mistake has happened. Improvement is required. But is it always necessary to give a feedback to such a person? Is it always necessary to give a feedback to someone who has made a mistake? Or can we keep quiet? Can we ignore the mistake? Sometimes ignoring can be seen as irresponsibility. You should correct him. I mean, that's one perspective. Yes, Mataji.
The correction is to be done by somebody superior and who is in a position of authority. But if you are inferior, or inferior means junior, to a person, then it's better that you don't tell him directly, you tell the authority, and then they can, in confidence, and then they can do. And another aspect is that don't give feedback, let Lord's, either you can say either karma take its own this thing, or let Lord intervene and do himself.
Okay.
And many times he does that.
Yeah. So 2 points you said. Mistake has happened. The person needs improvement, but I will not give feedback if I am a junior. Second, even if I am a senior, I will leave it to the Lord. Okay, good. Anything else?
When you look at the person's mentality, give the feedback and follow.
Okay. See their mentality. Anything else?
but the receiving end,
Really well-wisher we want that is well-wishing, that's why we are giving, not for our. As a well-wisher we are giving.
If we know the person and if the person is self-improving, we know it, then sometimes it's not needed to give the feedback. We know that he will improve himself.
Good. Let me go to Vrindavan for a moment. Ananda Vrindavan Champu describes how Mother Yashoda trained Krishna in walking when he is a baby. Or any mother, how mother trains the child in walking. Initially, mother would hold the 2 hands of the child in her own hands and keep the 2 feet of the child on her 2 feet and walk backwards to teach the child how to walk forward. Many mothers must have done it. After some time, maybe after a couple of months, mother will only hold the hands of the child and allow the child to walk with his own feet. I will not give my feet as a cushion to your feet. You are little grown up now. So you put your feet on the floor and I will hold your hands, you walk. After some time, mother will hold only one hand of the child, not both hands. So legs and other hand, the child has to balance, one hand is given as support. After some time, mother will give one finger to the child. The child has to hold mother. Till now mother is holding the child, but now the child has to hold the mother if he wants to walk. After some time, mother will sit here, child is there. Come, my dear child, please come to me. Child has to get up and make 2 steps and fall down. Then mother will not come and pick up. Mother has the energy, affection, capacity to pick up the child and keep in her lap, but she will not do it. She will just keep it. You get up, she will give encouragement. The child, Krishna, when he puts 2 steps, initially he was doing this Janubhyam Sahapanibhyam. He was using his Janu, means knees, and Pani, hands, and crawling. Initially he was crawling like a snake. Later he was just like an animal, 4-legged animal. He would use his both hands and legs to walk. After some time, he would just keep his hands on the wall and then somehow manage to walk. After some time, he would stand on his toes. He will walk 2-3 steps, then he will fall on his body. He will be disappointed. Mother Yashoda claps and smiles and somehow enthuses Krishna, come my dear child, come. And Krishna will take the support of the ground and manages to stand and walks 5 more steps and comes to Mother Yashoda, and Yashoda would hug Krishna. So, it's not required to give feedback to a younger person. Always let them grow, let them learn on their own. If we keep on correcting them for every small mistake they do, even before they think of making a mistake, you are ready with the correction, ready with the feedback. ऐसा करने वाला है, इसलिए पहले बोल देता हूँ. So if you are in that mode, then they will not grow. Let's not micromanage people. Let's not intrude too much into their autonomy. You understand autonomy? Some independence they have. Let them grow on their own and assist them to grow instead of controlling their growth. There's a difference. They are growing, I am assisting. Second is, I am growing them. Or I am controlling their growth, restricting their growth, allowing their growth. Don't become controller of their lives. Control is a product of, is a symptom of Rajogun. Care is a symptom of Sattvagun. In care, there is some control. So, control should be a subordinate to care. Care should not become subordinate to control. Right? Always, Sattvagun should be above, Rajogun should be subordinate. If Rajogun takes prominence and Sattvagun is subordinate, then we become very passionate. So, parents care for the children. Because they care, sometimes they control. The child is just going and then just moving this stool here and causing the speaker to fall down. Mother will control the child. Hey, come back. That control is care. What happens if the box falls on his head? What will happen to the kid? So there is a control, but the control is a subordinate to care. But if control takes prominence and care goes in the background, without telling me how can you do this, then it's not care, it's control. You want them to always submit to you. मुझे बोल के ही करना चाहिए. Otherwise they should not even move out of the house without telling me. So means just be a caretaker rather than being a controller. That's in short. That's the message. So feedback is not required at every step. When there's a major mistake, of course feedback is required. Training is required. Train them nicely and allow them to use the training. Apply the training. Apply all the principles that you have given them in training and grow them as responsible individuals. But if you keep on correcting them and giving feedbacks and suggestions at every step of their life, you are kind of restricting their growth. You are not allowing them to grow as responsible individuals. When a boss is trying to control the subordinate by giving hundreds of inputs, do this, do that, then you know what the subordinate thinks? This is his work and he is using my hands to do his work. My head has no role to play. Don't engage the hands of people only. Allow their heads also to function. Then their hearts will be pacified. If you are using their hands, not allowing them to use their heads, their hearts will not feel nourished. Their hearts will feel vacuum. Their emotions will be hurt. So, a caretaker must care for 3 things: head, hand and hearts. Head, hand, hearts. So we may use their hands. If you are a boss, you are engaging them in action. You may engage their hands, but acknowledge their emotions, heart, and also allow them to use their intelligence to creatively come up with more and more thoughts and ideas to implement the same service in a more creative way. Right? Then you will use their talent also. Otherwise, the whole thing will happen according to your mindset only. They also have minds, they also have intelligence, they also have thoughts, they have experiences, they have creativity. Allow them to use that and grow nicely. So a genuine well-wisher is one who takes pleasure in seeing the growth of the other person rather than trying to control their growth or take credit for their growth. Earlier he was doing so many mistakes, I have given him so many feedbacks and suggestions and improved them like this. You want to take credit for their growth. Let's not be like that. So, this is the art of giving feedback. And apart from that, we have other strategies. Ensure that you are the right person. Many of you said it. Ensure that you are the right person to give feedback. If you are not the right person, then let someone else do it. You don't do it. Ensure that you are the right person. Although you are the right person, you should give the feedback in the, first you have to check his right intention. Do you have the right intention in giving feedback? Even if you are the right person, you have the authority. But if your intention is not pure, then you cannot give. So check your intention first. Do I have the right intention? What is the right intention? You desire their improvement, that's all. Nothing else. Nothing else. Sometimes people give feedback or correction only to show that I know more than you. Your feedback giving should not be an exhibition of your knowledge, your scholarship, your experience, or to prove that you know better than them. Probably it's your need to give feedback to them rather than their need to receive it. They may not require to receive that feedback, but you will feel the need. Why I am silent? I should speak something now. What should I speak? Oh, he's doing some mistake, let me go and correct. It's our urge to express. It's our urge to show off our knowledge. Let it not be like that. If there is a need, let's speak. We don't have to speak always. You can chant Hare Krishna. Right? So, a devotee is one who does the needful on a practical plane, and whenever there is no need to do anything practically, he will just meditate on Krishna. That is a devotee. Just think about Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. Just chant the holy names of Krishna, that's all. We should always chant the holy names of Krishna. We should always think about Krishna. If it is needed, we may speak, we may do something. All our actions and words are only as per necessity. What is our constant activity? Meditation on Krishna. Thinking about Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. That's our constant absorption. Everything else is as per necessity. Sometimes it's not required. So, right intention. So you have the right intention. Then you check whether they are the right person. You have right intention, you are the right person also. Even if you have right intention, even if you are the right person, if you don't communicate it at the right time, the feedback will lose its value. You should speak at an appropriate time. Then comes the right way. You must speak at the right time, but you should also speak in the right manner. What is the right manner? Whatever makes the other person accept it, understand it, digest it, that is the right manner. Sometimes some people have to be told little strongly, then only it will enter their head. Otherwise it will not enter. So you may have to use a little heavy tone. Sometimes some people have to be spoken very mildly. Even slightest raise of voice will bring tears in their eyes. It's like Nayanam Galadhashru Tharaya, Vadanam Gadgadarudhaya Gira. That will happen. Even if there is a little expression like this, my God, they have tears in their eyes. I didn't even say anything. Why are you becoming so sensitive? Some are like that. So handle them with care, like glass cup. Steel cup, even if it falls down, it will only make some sound. Karta. But with the glass cup, my God, gone. So it's broken. Relationships are like earthen pots. Earthen pot. And here it will break. Once an earthen pot breaks, very difficult to use it. You cannot use it. That's gone. Even if you manage to bring all the broken pieces, 10 pieces together, use Fevicol or Feviquick and then manage to make it work again, you need to be extremely careful to handle this repair part more than a new pot. I think we discussed it before. I don't know, not in this forum, maybe some other forum. So handle with care. Relationships are like that. Be sensitive. Even if there's a necessity to give feedback. Okay, we discussed many points. When the disease is mild, say a mild headache, take some rest, it's gone. Maybe you did not sleep sufficiently. Take little rest, 1 hour, headache is gone. You don't need a tablet, you don't need an injection. Headache or injection. You don't have to go to a doctor every day. Right. If it is severe disease, infection, surgery may be needed. But it's not worth doing a surgery for a simple headache, right? Similarly, it's not worth giving a heavy feedback for a small mistake. The mistake is small, just ignore it. No tablet, no injection, no ointment, nothing. Just ignore it. Take little rest. Follow them some time. That's all. Problem is when we become too talkative, too enthusiastic to express ourselves, express our knowledge, and control people, we keep on correcting them. They feel very difficult and we become unapproachable. We keep saying that they are unapproachable, they don't take feedback. Problem is you are unapproachable. We need to introspect. We discussed so many things about good feedback givers and good feedback receivers, bad feedback givers, bad feedback receivers. The opposite of good is bad, as simple as that. Now let's discuss combinations. Four combinations. Good combination, good bad combination, bad good combination, and bad combination. Good combination means the feedback giver is good, the feedback receiver is bad. Sorry, good means feedback receiver is good, feedback giver both are good. Good bad means the feedback giver is good, but the one who receives feedback is bad. He feels offended. He takes it in a negative light. Although the feedback is given with a good intention, he takes it in a different tone. Let's go one by one. First, good combination. The person who is giving feedback is a genuine well-wisher, has a sincere intention to see the other person grow nicely. And the person who is receiving feedback also doesn't misunderstand the feedback, but understands that, oh, this person is speaking for my good. Actually, I have done a mistake. There is a scope for improvement in me. So, this is helping me. He accepts with gratitude. Let me give an example. One example is Swayam Bhavamanu giving feedback to Dhruva. How many of you know this story? Swayam Bhavamanu giving the feedback to Dhruva Maharaj. Anyone knows this story? Devotees. Okay. You know Dhruva, right? Dhruva Maharaj once became so angry when his brother died. Dhruva Maharaj had a brother named Uttama. When Yaksha killed this Uttama, and Dhruva became angry. He went to the Yaksha's kingdom, Alakapuri, with his bow and arrows, and he started fighting. 1,30,000 Yakshas came to fight back. Dhruva Maharaj single-handedly is defeating all of them. Long fight. To cut it short, at one point, Dhruva became so angry that he started annihilating the entire race of Yakshas for one Yaksha's mistake. One Yaksha killed his brother, he is killing all the Yakshas. He is on the verge of annihilating the entire race of Yakshas. At that time, Dhruva's grandfather Swayambhu Manu came there. This is there in the 4th canto, 12th chapter, 10th and 11th chapters. Swayambhu Manu came there and said, Dhruva, excessive anger is path to hell. They are not supposed to punish an entire race for one person's mistake. Is it appropriate to label an entire family or community or race or a group or a sampradaya or a school or a town or a country for one individual's mistake? Manu is saying this. Manu is the father of mankind. The original man is Manu. He is saying this. And Dhruva became sober and then he stopped. This is my dear grandfather. I became excessively angry. Thank you very much for your kindly feedback and suggestion. I will not do it again. He stopped. Actually, for a Kshatriya who is totally outrageous on the battlefield, when he's killing his enemies and on the verge of completely annihilating all the enemies, If you suddenly go and say stop this fight, they will not take it. They cannot take it. We don't have that experience because we never fought in any wars. Anyone here fought in any battle here? Nobody, right? But we have verbal battles many times. Verbal arguments. When you are angry, other person is angry, we keep on shouting, and somebody comes and stops us. We will not stop it. We can't stop verbal fights. He has to stop physical fight. How much sense control he had, how much mind control he had, how much obedience and submissiveness he had, how much trust he had on his superiors, Swayam Bhava Manu. Ah, therefore, he just accepted the feedback and stopped. This is an example of good combination. Any other combinations you can speak from Shastras? Yes, ma'am.
Explain about the Pitru Maharaj and Lord Brahma has hypnotic to the Ashwamedha to stop it like so that was causing more of harm than
Correct. Prithvi Maharaj immediately accepted it. By the way, I mean, Brahma gave a suggestion. Prithvi accepted it. There's no feedback here. So we are discussing a little slightly different context. A person did a mistake. Another person is correcting him. Prithvi never did any mistake. Prithvi was given a suggestion, an advice is given, he accepted it. But the feedback means one person has done a mistake, another person is correcting, giving feedback. Any other good combination from Shastras? Huh? How is good combination? Vidura is good in giving feedback. Huh? Who told him?
After the Maharaj.
After the birth, correct. Excellent example. So I was thinking the other before. Correct, good example. So Vidura gave a feedback to Dhritarashtra. He said, "You are living like a household dog. Bhima is throwing chapatis at your face, and your household like a household dog eating that. Are you not ashamed of accepting so many facilities and support from those people whom you tried to kill in 100 different ways? Are you not ashamed?" Then finally, Dhritarashtra accepted the feedback. Good. Anything else? Any other? Krishna Arjuna, okay, good. Anything else? Good combinations. The feedback giver is good. Feedback received is also good. Means giver is giving with a good intention to see the other person grow and improve. And feedback receiver is gratefully receiving that feedback and understanding his fault and improving himself. There is feedback and good interesting. My God, how is Uddhav going to be? I need to give feedback now. What mistake did the Gopis do? What feedback did Uddhav give? Yes, huh? Narada and Mriga is a good example. Mrigari is half killing animals. Mrigari is killing animals and taking pleasure when they are flapping their wings or flapping their legs in pain. Then Narada gave a feedback, immediately stop it. Then Mrigari took it. Good problem. What was the feedback? That's a suggestion. Suggestion, advice, instruction are different from feedback. Feedback basically means correction. Okay? You are correcting another person's mistake with a good intention. And the person who has done the mistake is accepting with a good intention. To grow. Clear? Any other examples? Actually, good. Narmani has a very good example. Okay.
Narraji and Ungli one does it.
Narji?
Dacoit, like.
Dacoit, Burgari. Valmiki. Valmiki may be an example. Burgari already said.
sure again. But the advice that Draupadi gives to Arjun not to feel like
That's advice, not feedback. They did not do any mistake. Ashwatthama has done a mistake, but did Draupadi give feedback to Ashwatthama? Mistake is done by one party, feedback is given to another party. Anyways, so basically, there are so many such good combinations. Okay, let me give you an example from Chaitanya Charitamrita. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a Bengali poet. He wrote a poetry about Lord Chaitanya and Jagannath. You know what he said? In Jagannath Puri, two lords have come together. Jagannath Ji is the body, Lord Chaitanya is the soul. His body, this is soul. They have come together in Jagannath Puri. That's the poetry he has written. You like the poetry? Jagannath is the body and Mahaprabhu is the soul. Body and soul have come together in Jagannath Puri. That was his poetry. Did you find any mistake in this or it's all right? Is it fine? Huh?
It's all right.
It's all right. Okay. Anything else? Anyone else? Is it only we say it's all right? It's good poetry. No debates. Irrespective of whatever it is, whatever I spoke, is it correct or not? Jagannath Ji is the body and Mahaprabhu is the soul. They both have come together in Jagannath Puri. That's the poetry he has written. Is it correct or not? Is it valid or not? Is it philosophically accurate or not? Yes. How many of you say yes? One, two, and how many of you say no? Others who did not raise hand, what is that? Huh? None of the above. Okay. Those who are saying no, why did you say no? Jagannath is heart of Krishna. Uh, one devotee can raise your hand and say how this poetry is wrong. Because many devotees say yes, bro. Correct. That's it, right. How does it make the poetry wrong?
Not that it Chaitanya is soul of Chaitanya, but two forms of the same.
Two forms of the same Lord. Any other perspectives? More accurate fault finding.
For the Lord, we will do it within the body.
This is the right answer. Jagannath is not body. Mahaprabhu is not soul. He is the supreme Lord. You cannot compare him with an ordinary jiva, soul. He is the soul of all souls. And Jagannath is not a mere body. He is not himself. His body, the wooden deity, is not different from his transcendental, spiritual, eternal body. So there is no difference between body and soul for the Lord. That's like they are one. So that's a mistake. Then Swarupa Damodar Goswami saw this poetry and he became furious, extremely furious. That you don't know the tattva of both Jagannath Ji and the Lord, Jagannath Ji and Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu is not an ordinary jiva. Jagannath Ji deity is not a mere wooden matter. Body is material. How can you call him body? So the Bengali poet felt that my God, I have done such a great mistake. Sorry. He said, sorry, apologized. And Sarvadamodar Goswami said, you sit and study Srimad Bhagavatam in the Association of Devotees, then you will be able to write poetry nicely. So that is the suggestion given. So he did a mistake. He composed the wrong poetry, which is philosophically inaccurate. In fact, it's an offense to both the lords. Calling Jagannath is a mere wooden body is an offense to Jagannath. Calling Lord Chaitanya as a soul, Jiva, is an offense to Mahaprabhu also. So he corrected him and he improved him. And he accepted the correction. That's a good combination. Feedback giver is good, feedback receiver is good, and ultimately the outcome is great. Now, let's go to good bad combination. Maybe it's easier. The feedback giver is giving with a very good intention as a well-wisher. But feedback receiver is arrogant, proud, not accepting the feedback. I gave an example already. What was that? Vibhishan gave feedback to Ravana, who never accepted it. Okay, any other examples? Krishna to Duryodhana. Prahalad to Hiranyakashipu. Next. Feedback giver is good, receiver is bad. Any other examples? Vidura Dhartarashtra before that incident. Next.
Vision and
Vibhishan?
Ravana.
Ravana, it's that.
Yasodhara.
Yashoda gave feedback to Kamsa. When did they talk? Their meeting never happened, at least in the books that I read. Anything else? Any? There are many such instances. You don't have to collect so many examples like this one. Vasudev to Kamsa, very good. Vasudev to Kamsa. Because when Kamsa was trying to kill Devaki Mata, Vasudev gave a feedback to Kamsa which he never accepted. So, in this combination, what happens is growth is restricted. Although we have a very knowledgeable person, wise person, who is capable of correcting you, you are not taking benefit of it. Vidura gave a feedback to Dhritarashtra and Duryodhan. Duryodhan never accepted it. He said, get lost from here. Out. Banished. Because of banishing Vidura, Duryodhan and Dhritarashtra invited their own self-destruction. So in this good-bad combination, when the bad people are in a greater position than the good person, they will lose an opportunity to receive good counsel and they will ruin themselves. And if the person who is giving good feedback is in a higher position and the person who is receiving feedback is in a lower position but is not willing to take, he will destroy himself only. But if he is in a greater position and he loses a good advisor, not only he will be destroyed, all the people will be destroyed and who are connected to him. Right? Basically, when we are a bad receiver, individually we will be ruined. If we happen to be leader, we will ruin our followers. Therefore, humbly receiving feedback, gratefully receiving a valid feedback is important. The third combination is getting delayed. Third combination, bad good, means the person who is giving feedback is giving with a bad intention. What is bad intention? He's giving bad intent, he's giving feedback only with an intention to demotivate the person, discourage the person, demean the person, depress the person, suppress the person, oppress the person, and eliminate him or banish him or whatever, harm the other person. But the receiver somehow seeing some positivity. Although this person is speaking with poisonous intentions, there is something which is valid in what he is saying. Let me accept that and not hate the person. Or if that little good thing that he said helps me grow and improve, okay, fine. Let me accept. That's the attitude of the good receiver. It's like dustbin is filled with kachra, but there is one diamond there. There is like 50 kilos of kachra and there is 50 grams of diamond. Just immediately pick it up. That's what is the nature of an essence seeker. Essence seeker means he seeks essence like saranga. Saranga means there is a swan takes milk from mixture of and chicken, correct, and picks up grains even in garbage. And we have bee, honey bee, goes to a big garden filled with so many things, but focuses only on the nectar within the flower. So this way, we are supposed to be sense seekers. That's the good bad, sorry, bad good combination. The feedback receiver is bad, but the feedback giver is bad, but the receiver is good. Any examples for this, Shastra? Huh?
Krishna comes to give the
Okay. Although the feedback is not involved, but Krishna showed.
Bhandarnath.
it says and
Yes. It's actually punishment, not even feedback. It's criticism and directly punishment. But it's a very good example, fitting example. Parikshit Maharaj, although he was cursed to die within 7 days, Parikshit Maharaj saw it as an opportunity to become indifferent and detached from his kingdom and take shelter of Srimantra. Very good. Any other examples? Who said this now? Who said like that? Pandavas. He was always trying to eliminate them. He did not say, take this and be satisfied now. He always wanted to eliminate them and supporting Duryodhana. Anyways, he must have said it. I didn't read Mahabharata so much. My knowledge of Mahabharata is very poor. Any other?
Dhanna Jat.
Huh?
Dhanna Jat. There was a devotee named Dhanna.
I don't know.
Like he got a, he went to a, he met a saintly person. He got, he asked him to give his lord. He was worshipping Shaligram Shila. So he gave his, uh, he gave the stone of it. That saint was not actually a good saint. He was a fraud. So he gave the stone of his pan, like he used to do that, something like that. So he gave him that and he asked him to worship him, eat, feed them before you eat and bathe. First you bathe and then bathe the Krishna, like Shaligram Shila. So he followed it and he got
Oh, okay. He had something. Huh. Suruchi and Dhruva is a good example. Suruchi Mata said, if at all you want to sit on your father's throne, Dhruva, worship the Lord, take your next birth from mine. Dhruva was affected, but Suriti saw something good in what Suruchi said. Oh, your stepmother said to worship Lord Vishnu, right? That's a wonderful suggestion. Do it. She ignored all her bad intentions. Ardhamani, what did he? Actually, he took that curse as a blessing, thinking that I should not be attached to one place, let me move and spread bhakti. Good. Anything else? Any other? One story. Ambarish. How? What feedback did he give? How is bad good? Who is the bad feedback given and who is the good feedback? No, that's it. It's not fitting. Good, bad feedback giver and good feedback received. That's the component we are discussing. Okay, fine. Let me conclude with one little story. You know, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he had son-in-law. What's his name? Amog. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya invited Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he was feeding him so much prasad out of love and affection. Mahaprabhu is a young sannyasi, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is an old person. He's feeding him. Then Amoga came and commented, this much prasad, 10 people can eat, and this one sannyasi is eating so much. He made that comment. And Sarvabhauma felt very bad, but Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, yes, what Amoga said is correct. Yes, we are not supposed to eat so much. We are not supposed to control Atyahar. He said that. He took something good in what Amoga said, he did not feel offended. So, last combination, bad. Giver is bad, this is good. Huh? Manthara and Kaikeyi, what was the feedback? It was only suggestion. Advice is different from feedback. Advice is always on. Somebody is stuck in something, you go and give advice. But feedback means you are correcting someone. They did a mistake and you are correcting. Anything else? Any other example of bad bang? I thought it's easiest. Yes, true. Okay, correct. Okay. Actually, I could not find many examples for bad bang. But I still found two examples. What is the feedback? Both are bad, we understand. But what mistake one person did, what correction other person gave. Fine, both are bad. Where is feedback here? Where is mistake and where is feedback? Okay, let me tell you. You know, Samudra Manthan episode. Samudra Manthan, Devatas and the Asuras were churning milk ocean. Then, when the nectar came out, all these Asuras, demons, snatched away the nectar pot from Dhanvantari's hands and they ran away. And they were fighting. I will drink first, I will drink first. Aham Purvam, Aham Purvam. At the time, the weaker demons were giving the feedback to stronger demons. You know what was the feedback? Even the Devatas also worked so hard to produce this nectar. We should give a share to them also. That was the feedback. But these people who are saying that never had an intention to share nectar with Devatas. They are giving that feedback only because they are not getting the opportunity to drink nectar. Okay? They are unable to take the share from the stronger demons. And the stronger demons never took the feedback anyways. So the feedback was given with a wrong intention, with an impure, malicious intention, and feedback is never received. This is a bad word combination. Okay? Does it fit? One more. We'll conclude with this. There are two demons, Sunda and Upasunda. Sunda and Upasunda. They worshipped Brahma and asked him, we want to become immortal. Brahma said, that's not possible. You have to die. He asked another one. Then Sunda and Upasunda said, okay, nobody in this entire universe should be able to kill us except each other. If I have to die, he has to kill me. If he has to die, I have to kill him. So we should be killed by each other only, and nobody should be able to kill us. And there's a possibility. Brahma said, okay, tathastha. But because these two brothers love each other so much, they're committed not to kill each other. And they are tormenting the entire universe. And nobody is able to kill them. So they were troubling the entire universe. Then Brahma himself planned, oh, these people die. I only gave them the boon. They don't kill each other. They don't fight with each other. If they don't kill each other, they will not die. But as long as they are living, they are troubling the whole universe. Then Brahma created a woman called Tilottama and sent Tilottama in front of Sunda and Upasunda. Both of them fell in love with Tilottama. And both of them said, I want to marry. Then the elder brother gave a feedback to younger brother. I want to marry her. You should see her as your mother. Because elder brother's wife is mother. And the younger fellow is speaking to the elder one. He's saying that I want to marry her. You should see her as a daughter. Because the younger brother's wife is supposed to be seen as a daughter. They are giving feedback to each other. Nobody accepted feedback. And Tilottama said, first we fight with each other. Whoever wins the battle, I will marry him. So they fought with each other and they killed each other. And Tilottama went back to Brahma. Right? So sometimes in Shastras, you may not find every example, but in our day-to-day life, we find so many examples. Somebody may correct someone else with a malicious intention, bad intention, want to degrade the other person. Other person also doesn't want to take it properly, the right light. So these are various combinations of feedback givers and feedback receivers.
Bad good guy example, or for example, Bali Maharaj and his guru, Shukracharya, that he gave the suggestion that he is Vishnu, do not do, but he still did it and he got the
Yes, that's good. It's like bad good in a different tone. The feedback giver is bad, that's very clear. But feedback is not received only here. And not receiving that feedback is good. Bali not receiving feedback is good. Just like Suruchi, Suniti received feedback from Suruchi. Although Suruchi was bad in giving feedback, Suniti received it with a good intention. But here Bali rejected it. Sometimes when the feedback given is bad, you should reject it. That is okay. Thank you. You may not try to fit everything into this four combination. There are hundreds of other combinations also. But the main thing is whenever we are on the receiving end, let's follow all the things that we discussed. Whenever we are on the giving end, again, let's follow whatever we have discussed. So that will make our interactions more smooth and enlivening. Okay, any questions, comments, clarifications? Yes.
Give an example of the bad and good combination. So suppose if there is a situation where you have a person becomes a big end, becomes to be good this particular example combination. And that person is not retaliate and he accepts and takes the good of in that situation about bad and good combination. So does it mean that the person becomes big end is the remark of getting identified?
It's possible. It's quite possible.
But you had a combination of Burns and Lord.
Very general. Correct. Any other questions, comments? Do you find this relevant or? Huh?
Because you talk, never heard. I'm sure they are being recorded. And they're not we have every time after the election, next day, we post it in our GIS group. Because many people are saying, yeah, अभी तो एक भी lecture आया है.
Some recorded it.
आज तो मुझे चाहिए.
Who is asking and sending to them?
Sending to others, what is the problem? I mean, it's a positive. Somebody is having sign up.
I can ask a question. You mentioned
One at a time, please. Whoever is a moderator, yes, ma'am. Anyone?
Give an example of there is this speaker and the child, the mother is not allowing the child to go there so that the speaker might follow the child and something like that. But the child can also listen to it. The mother, which is happening in normal scenario. I mean, I have a son who is a teenager, so we have a clash every time regarding that. So, how do I, as a mother, try to, just dilute my way of handling it?
Dilute my way of handling things. He's not accepting your feedback.
I'm having that feel that, he should take it in a growth way. Whatever I am telling, he should not think that I'm controlling it.
Correct.
But this generation, the new generation, it's like everything that is said, they feel their mother is trying to control. So then, the feedback from the child.
Involve father. It involves the father. Father should.
My.
Maybe some other elder devotee. And another thing is, it's a general observation. The younger generation, they are very much influenced by people of their own age. From previous generation, the inputs that they take will keep on getting reduced as time progresses. So they accept more from equals than superiors, definitely not from juniors. So we need to find someone who is doing good in their age group and try to bring them in contact with the good person. They will accept it. It may not be practical always, but if we can make it happen, that is good. Because generation gap always there. Same generation, oh, he's doing bhakti also. He is Now, doing good at studies also, that's a good example. Let's follow that. They find it more practical. I think.
I have just the reversal question. Like, if we want to tell the seniors or the one who is elder to us that give us the chance to do. You have trained us. Now just give us a chance to do well and then give the feedback. Don't control.
Don't keep on micromanaging us. Don't suffocate us.
No, not that. But let us do the errors and correct.
Say it politely. You can always say that politely. I need little more independence, little more autonomy. Just reveal your full intentions or plan just so that they become confident because they're consent. Elders are concerned about us. Therefore, they may want to restrict us or just stop us. So we need to empathize with them also. When we have this quality of empathy, means analyzing the situation from their perspective, then we can accordingly communicate what we are trying to do. So problem is both parties are thinking from their side on. They are not thinking from the other side. That creates a lot of communication gap. Although physically the distance is less, at heart the distance is very hard. So we need to try to empathize with them. Sympathy is like showing kindness, but empathy is like one step ahead, where you try to think from the other person's perspective. So understand their concern and communicate your concern in a way that they can accept, they can digest. Just sitting and talking will work mostly. Still, there are multiple other considerations. I'm saying it may not be practical many times.
So I think maybe with feedback, I think we should make our intention clear. So if you are tell a person that you just paint a picture, I have to tell you something that might not like. I am open to learning. Then we can understand the person who's receiving are in the mood and we can also be prepared that it's just going to give me something that I'm not going to like. So we are open to listening. Or if they're not ready, we can tell the giver also that maybe not today, maybe some other time. So then, like, the giver is also like the intention that whoever receiver is also there.
Yeah, just again clarify. Don't do them a shock. Don't conduct the surgery without anesthesia. Just give them a trailer, teaser first, then you can launch your movie. Okay, you can conclude.
There is one question from the Zoom meeting. How do we take the position of giving feedback? Is it entrusted to us by our Guru Maharaj, or we should take the responsibility as our service to Guru Maharaj?
Very good and practical question. Depends on your experience. It all depends on your experience. You got the question?
No.
When can we give feedback? Should we be appointed by some superior guru or authority? Or should we just go and give feedback whenever we feel that concern or need? Or should we wait for an approval? Uh, It depends on the situation. You can't always wait for approval, endorsement, appointment, and okay, from today onwards, this person is my representative to correct you. Then you become like a lion and then start analyzing everybody. Not necessary. Basically, let's go back to the basic quality, the most fundamental and foremost quality of the feedback giver. Well-wisher. When we are genuine well-wishers of other people, we may not wait for uh, empowerment. At the same time, we may not also artificially assume that position, right? So later, Guru may come and say, "Hey, when he's doing mistake, why can't you correct?" Maharaj, you never told me. I will not tell you everything. See, you are supposed to use your common sense. Later, Maharaj may say it. Okay. So there you may have to take an initiative. But sometimes when the situation is very sensitive and serious and delicate, then better keep it. So we should have the diligence and discrimination and discretion to evaluate when should I intervene and when should I not. I cannot give a black and white answer for this. There may be some situations where, although you may not be authorized officially, you may have to intervene to rectify the situation. There are some situations, even if you are authorized, you have to be quiet. Right? The situation is like that. You are authorized, you have authority, you can say, but still, it's too sensitive, too delicate, very fragile situation. So, maturity lies in understanding when to do what. So, when to escalate and when to communicate, when to tolerate. So, we need to have that maturity. And by the way, maturity is not a product available in market. You cannot order 10 packets of maturity on Amazon or Flipkart. That comes by experience, that comes by sadhana. Sincere sadhana and proper Shastra. Shastra has everything. Bhagavatam has everything. When we sincerely study Shastra, uh, there are so many perspectives that the Shastra keeps on revealing to us. That our wisdom gets polished, our intelligence becomes strong and it's strengthened. So with that strengthened intelligence, that polished intelligence, that refined wisdom, we will be able to understand when to do what, when not to do things. Thank you very much. One more question.
If we know some senior is wrong, still should we not tell them?
Again, it depends. For example, some very senior person, maybe 10, 20 years senior, he wants to go to Jupiter. He's driving. So the way is like this, but he's took a left turn and then going like this. You have to tell Prabhu, not this way, this way. It's a correction, it's a feedback. But in sense, some small things, fine. Something major, especially when you're correcting their character. Correcting their activity may be little less sensitive, but when you're correcting their mentality, it's extremely dangerous. It could be dangerous. So basically, when they're seniors, let us try not to correct as much as possible. But if something small, uh, mm, they are searching for something at a wrong place, but you know this is the right place. As a service, you can always, hey, how can I correct the senior? Hey, you should tell them a service. So they are going to the fifth floor for the temple. But the altar is in the third floor. You will not tell them. You have to tell them. It's service. So what kind of correction are we giving? It depends. Generally speaking, don't correct uh, their activities. Character. I mean, activities also. Serious activities you should not correct. Small things will be not in the mode of correction, but in the mode of just giving
Those
information.
corrections are in the mode of helping them. Like-
Serving. Okay. Thank you very much. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada.